This video is designed to show you how to connect Microsoft Teams with Business Central. As you can see, this is part of a much larger workshop, but the focus of this specific video is just to connect Teams and show you the integrated experience between Teams and Business Central. So let's begin. Now, in this video, I'll show you how to install and configure the applications. And then we'll go through a few scenarios, one where you'll share a record within a Teams channel. We'll view a record or a card of a record inside of a conversation between two individuals. And then I'll conclude with some resources and FAQ for you to review. So let's begin by getting the applications installed and configured. The easiest and simplest way is to begin by opening up Microsoft Teams. Here you can see I am inside of Teams, and then in the bottom left corner I'll select on Apps, and up in the top left corner I'll begin my search. So enter in a search and type Business Central. This should be the only app inside of your results. You'll select the Business Central app. And just for your own background and edification, you can see some of the capabilities of the integration. One is, again, contact search, so I can look up business contacts such as customers or vendors directly inside of Teams. I can also paste a link to any of the records in a conversation. And then I can also do in-edit app, edit of data without ever leaving Teams. So let's go ahead and add that to your demo environment, and then just go ahead and say got it or try it. And that should work. One more thing you do need to configure, and that is to invoke the application inside of Teams, you have to use the naming convention of @Business Central. The first time you'll need to authenticate. So you'll sign in with your credentials, and then once you do, you'll select, you'll start to type, and I'll do a search here, for example, of one of our clients, Robert Towns. And then when I select it, you'll see that customer card is presented to me inside of Teams. Now, I did provide you with one brief warning. If you are using a brand new demonstration environment, make sure that you go up into the browser settings and enable or allow Business Central to use pop-ups. This, if you don't, it will impact your experience, and you may be wondering, where is this customer card? Next, now that we've installed and configured that, let's go ahead and share a record within a Teams channel. So the scenario I have is, imagine as an accounting manager, you're going to share a record to a Teams channel. So I open up Business Central, and I'll select on my inventory items. And you could do it one of two ways. You can see with the active item or active card highlighted, I can forward this directly from here, or if I open it up, you'll see here on the card itself, there's a share button. So when I go to share, my option is either to share to Teams or copy link. We'll share to Teams. And then from here, I can either enter in an individual, an existing channel, or a team. In this case here, I typed in sales, so obviously it's going to see all the sales reps. I'll go ahead and select the sales channel inside of my team, Kronos USA, and then select the share button. Now that is done, I can either close the window, continue working, or in this case, let's go ahead and see what that looks like inside of Teams. So here I am, I'm still inside of my admin user, and you can see that under this organization, under this team, in the sales channel, I have posted information with regards to that item. Now, if the sales rep or somebody in the sales channel or somebody who has access to that channel wants to see the post inside of Teams, you'll notice that I've changed the persona. I'm logged in here now as Veronica, and Veronica goes to click on the sales, and so she sees the dialogue when she goes and clicks on the link, you'll notice that there is a license problem, and that's because Veronica isn't licensed to access Business Central. So I did this on purpose just to give you a sense of the behavior, but also the licensing configuration. So on the docs.microsoft.com page, you will find under the Teams, if you do search on Teams, you'll see this table that demonstrates or outlines the minimum requirements. And again, I highlight just the one area in which that user can access without having a Business Central license, and that's when we want to view a card inside of a conversation. A conversation is basically messaging between two individuals. Okay, we'll move on. If you did want to demonstrate how Veronica can access that, you'll see here I went into the admin portal. So this is admin.microsoft.com, and I went into the active users. And if you open up Veronica, you'll notice here the licenses assigned to Veronica is just the Office 365. So if I select on Veronica and I want to enable Business Central, I'll do the check mark, I'll hit save, and then you'll want to flip toggle or Alt plus Tab over to Business Central. When you're inside of Business Central, you'll use your search, global search to users. And then under the process, you can update users from Microsoft 365. Once I do that, now Veronica can log in, or when Veronica goes to open the link, she'll have a much different experience. Again, that's the part that does require a license. Now, in this scenario, let's take a look at what the experience might be for someone who does not have a Business Central license. In this case here, again, we can view a card of a record inside of a conversation. So imagine, again, finance initiates a conversation with somebody in marketing, maybe to kick off a discussion around current promotions or future promotions on inventory items. So I am logged back in here as my admin user in my finance team. And again, I've got all these different channels that I'm running, but up on the top left, I'm going to invoke chat. And I am going to send a chat to Diane Prescott. So I select Diane, looks like she's available or maybe she's busy, but I'm going to still paste the URL. So again, I could have done that from the record inside of Business Central. I'll paste that URL, in this case here, the Athens desk. And then if I go ahead and hit send, now while I'm still logged in as myself as that power user, I did want to demonstrate that if I click on the details here, because I am a user and a licensed user within Business Central, I am able to edit records within inside of Teams. So again, I can then hit the pencil button here on that Athens desk, make any changes, hit save and close, and then that would allow me to make those changes accordingly. Now, if I were to switch personas once more, and again, this is going to be the experience where that marketing or Diane receives a message from me. So here I am, I'm logged in as Diane, and I'll go ahead and open that card or that chat conversation, and here you'll see that I've sent a message to Diane. So again, I don't have capabilities beyond just viewing the card. I can see the number, the quantity on hand, and a base unit of measure. And that's all that I can do without having a license of Business Central. So I hope that gives you at least an understanding of how to get started. There are some good resources and an FAQ out on the docs.microsoft.com page. This again is the licensing requirements. I have this posted here inside for you. There is also information regarding privacy and compliance. So I encourage you, if you wanted to drill into more about the details surrounding the integration and privacy. And then there's also an FAQ. Again, how to work with cards, work with the details, collaborate and share within the integrated experience. And then the last one I'll share with you is just troubleshooting. If you're having any types of challenges within the Teams integration, there is a published document here on docs.microsoft.com. As I mentioned, for me, in the setup for our demo environments, the only thing I want to encourage you to make sure you have, and that's to disable pop-up blockers or at least add Business Central URL as a trusted site. If you want to learn more, again, in terms of partner resources, this video will reside inside of the Dynamics 365 Business Central Pre-Sales Academy. You can see that there are already some previously recorded videos on how to set up, configure, and also how to demo. The link to access this again is aka.ms/BizCentral, that's BIZCENTRAL/academy. And that concludes this video. Again, I wanted to show you how to install and configure the integrated experience, and then demonstrate to you how do you share a record with inside a channel, and also share a card of a record inside of a conversation. And then we concluded with all of the partner resources for you to get started.